Hello friends, it's Hunter and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, it's so nice to meet you. Today's video, I thought it would be fun to do a roundup of all of my favorite things from 2022. I do a favorites video at the end of every month, but I thought it'd be fun to grab just like all the things I've been using this year that I would consider my favorites and things that I will continue to use all the way throughout 2023 and beyond. So with that being said, I would love it if you guys would subscribe to my channel down below and give this video a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna take you to different places in my house to show you where a lot of things are, but a couple things I can show you in my office. So I'm gonna show you those really quickly. This is my top 10 things, by the way. The first one is dumb and it is a pen. However, I love this pen with my whole heart, okay? If I only use one pen for the rest of my life, it would be this one. It is the Pilot Precise V5 RT, and I like it because of how fine the tip is. It is my favorite pen to write with if I'm writing anything down. There are other pens that I love. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge pen person, like pens, markers, things like that. I just love writing utensils, but this one is by far my favorite. I have repurchased this so many times. What I really need to do is buy ink in bulk and just continue to use the casings simply because I use them so much, and because I use them so much I never lose them, and I do actually run out of ink on these, but I just love how fine the tip is. It is so hard for you to even see how fine the tip is, but I just love how it writes. It is a bit gel, but it's not like so much gel that if you were to like run your hand over it that it's going to like smear or anything. I will link these below, maybe on Amazon or Target or somewhere, but I always buy mine from Target and I love them so much. They're my favorite. I have one in my purse, one in my desk, one in my nightstand. I need to have a pen with me everywhere, and this is the one that I want to have with me for the rest of my life. Again, if I never had to use another pen, or if I wasn't allowed to use another pen in my life, if I could only pick one, it would be this one. A couple more random bits. For next is a book. This is my favorite book from 2022. I read 200 books and this one is the top one. I read it twice in 2022, so I guess I technically only read 199 books, but I did read this one twice, so I'm counting this as a second book because I listened to it the second time. But it is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have made a video about this book so many times, and it's also going to be in my top 10 books of 2022, so that's going to be the next video that this is in. I don't know why, but this book just did me in. I basically cried both times I read it. It's heartbreaking, it's beautiful. The format of the story is so different from anything I've ever read. Let me show you. Do you see where you see like Graham and then it has words and then it says, what does it say? Karen. And then it's basically like very interview style, and this is just truly not like anything I have ever read before. There's an author's note in the beginning, and it is actually not a note in reference that the author of the book wrote, but it is the author of the interviews in the book. So the fictional author. It starts that and says, this book is an attempt to piece together a clear portrait of how the renowned 1970s rock band Daisy Jones and the Six rose to fame, as well as what led to their abrupt and infamous split while on tour in Chicago on July 12th, 1979. Over the course of the last 8 years, I have concluded individual interviews of current and former members of the band, as well as family and friends and industry elite who surrounded them at the time. The following oral history is compiled and edited from those conversations, as well as relevant emails, transcripts, and lyrics. While I've aimed for a comprehensive approach, I must acknowledge that this has proved impossible. Some potential interviewees were difficult to track down, some were more forthcoming than others, and some unfortunately have passed on. This book served as the first and only time members of the band have commented on their history together. However, it should also be noted that on matters both big and small, sometimes accounts of the same truth differ. The truth often lies unclaimed in the middle. I genuinely love this book so much. I think it's funny, it's heartbreaking, it's beautiful. 10 out of 10 for me. Like literally, I will recommend this book until the day I die. #1 book, and it will probably continue to be one of my favorite books of all time. Like this is in my top 2 of all time, and I love it so much. So I needed to include it in this favorites for this year. I guess there's 4 more things I can talk about here. I thought there were more that were like not in this room, but apparently they're not. Next are my nails, press-ons. I love press-on nails and I love the Kiss ones. So these are the ones that I have. I also really love the Olive and June ones, but I find them to be a bit more expensive, and I really love these ones. I know it's hard to see because there's a glare, but essentially it is a plastic container that has all of the fake nails in them, and I can usually get about 5 sets out of this, and it only costs like $5 or $6. You do have to paint them yourself, so they're not pre-painted, but the shape is perfect. You can file them down if they're too long. They're super easy to cut. They're not acrylic. They're super like flexible, so you can on this end, which is the end that like goes on your nail bed, but they're a bit harder on the edges, so you don't feel like you're like bending your nails constantly, which I love. Like I said, said, it's only like $5 or $6 for this pack, and it is a bit more difficult because you do have to paint them yourself, but I love them if you like to have your nails done but you don't want to go to the salon and you have patience, because it does take a little bit. But what I do is I pick the sizes that I need, and I end up not using these really big ones. So I don't know if you can tell, but like this one's empty and this one only has like 2 left in it, and sometimes the sizes get put in the wrong box, so I have to go through and make sure. But you can also cut them to size on the sides, so I actually can get more than just like 5 sets out of it. But this is the biggest one, and it's obviously, I don't know if you can see this, it's too big for my thumb, so I can just like size it accordingly with the nail clippers. It's super easy, and I like having my nails like long and more professional looking than just my natural nails, because I hate having long natural nails, but I don't mind having long press-ons, so big fan of these. And then if you don't want to paint them yourself, you can obviously get the pre-painted ones. This is what I have on now. They're the Kiss Gel Fantasy Collection. These are short. I prefer the short. These are medium curved, I think, but I can always clip these down. Also, they're not really that long. Because I actually did get my nails done this year, acrylic, like out of the salon, and I said short, and they were like Kiss's long length, so they were way too long for me. But I just genuinely enjoy having fake nails on so much. I feel so much more put together, and I'm a big fan. So wanted to mention those. The next thing is, of course, the infamous Stanley Cup. Everybody wants to know what's so great about this cup. So let me tell you why I think this is the greatest cup. First of all, it has a straw. Can I say more? Okay, the straw, that's what's important here, okay? I like that I can have this hole right here, or I can close it up. I never do that, honestly. I just constantly use the straw. I literally never use anything but the straw. I like how big it is. It's 40 ounces. I like that it has a handle, because 40 ounces when it's full, it gets a little bit heavy, to be honest with you. When it's not full, because there's hardly any water in here. It's like up to here right now, so there's not much in here. But I genuinely enjoy it, and I know people are like, why do you want your ice to last that long? Listen, I love cold water, and I do not want to drink water if it's not ice cold. And I'm able to do that with my Stanley. I realize this is a very expensive cup, and not everyone can afford to get one, and also not everyone has the privilege of just dropping $40, $50 on a cup. Listen, I get it. If you have a cup that works, please don't feel like you need to get a new one. But if you are on the fence about getting a Stanley, if you can't decide if you want one, I highly recommend it. It's not completely leak proof, so like if you spill it and there's water in it, obviously it's going to come out of the straw, or it might leak out of this hole right here. I can't say for sure because I don't ever not have the straw in it unless I'm cleaning it or refilling it. But for me, the big draw of it is the fact that it fits in my cup holder. And for water bottles in the past, it's been very important for me to have it spill proof, because I throw it in my passenger seat or I put it in the floor in my car. But because it fits in the cup holder, I don't need it to be spill proof because it's not ever going to be in a place where it's going to be spilled. And I always have it on a hard surface. So if you're on the fence about it, I highly recommend. If you don't care, then you don't care. But if you are trying to decide, I would highly recommend, and I say just go for it, because I promise you won't regret it. 2 more things in this room I wanted to talk about. One of them is an artist on Spotify, I guess, is Jake Scott. I'll put some video clips right here. I saw him in concert 2 times this year. I saw him in January and once in October, and I met him both times. He's literally so nice, and he is so talented. Like seriously, the amount of talent that he possesses is incredible. He writes obviously all of his own music, and he is so passionate about the things that he writes about. But I just think that the music that he writes about his wife are so sweet and inspires so much they inspire so much love. I love it. And also just like his voice is so good. He's just so good. I love him. So that's pretty much, he's been my top artist for the last 2 years now on Spotify, but genuinely a big fan, and so I wanted to include him in this. And last but not least, in my office, I'm gonna move my cup so it's not in the way, is my monitor. Okay, listen, Mason was like, I'm so proud of you for hitting 10,000 subscribers. I'm gonna buy you a monitor to make editing easier. And genuinely, I didn't think I was gonna like it, but he got it for me, and I freaking love it. I have my laptop, you can't see it, but oh, you can. I have my laptop right here. It's under this monitor stand, but it's literally so nice because I'm able to just like close my laptop. I have my mouse and my keyboard right here, and I'm able to edit on a big screen. It's so nice because it doesn't take as long. It's just easier to look at. And also having it set up like this kind of motivates me to sit at my desk to work, which is more productive for me in general. Because if I take my laptop downstairs, I'm gonna get so distracted, truly. I'm gonna get so distracted. So this was a really big thing that I'm a big fan of, and I'm so thankful that he bought this for me, and that he thought to get this for me. It was just such a thoughtful little congrats, I'm proud of you for working hard gift, and it just made me really happy. So I love this. I did have a different background, and then I don't know what happened. then it changed itself, so whatever. But I love it. I have a MacBook Pro, and it just overall, it makes the whole experience just like really awesome. So one thing I do want to get is an Apple keyboard, but for now I have this one from Amazon and it doesn't suck. So anyway, love my monitor, so I wanted to share. And I said that was the last thing in my office, but it's not, but I do have to stand up to show you. Also, I wasn't thinking about the fact that I was gonna stand up to show you stuff, so I am wearing leggings under this dress, but it doesn't look bad, right? Anyway, the next thing is my Billy bookcases. Oops, it's a mess over here. Don't look. Is my Billy bookcases. I have 2 of them. I got them obviously at IKEA because that's what the IKEA Billy bookcases are, but they were $89 each. They keep going up in price. I'm not sure how much I paid for them, but I got them earlier this year when we moved. It's been a dream of mine to have tall bookshelves that I can fill in my house, and it just makes me really happy to see all of my books displayed in one shelf. I have books here, and then I also have a bookshelf over here. Can you see? Over here. This one's not as full. It does have less stuff, so like whatever, but I just genuinely love my Billy bookcases. I think they're super awesome. My husband just pulled a Chipotle, but they're super helpful and I love them. So now let's head to the bathroom and my bedroom, and that'll be almost everything. We're in my bedroom now. And the next thing I wanted to talk about that I love, this is so cliche, honestly. I got this for Christmas last year, and I felt like I couldn't put it in, whatever. Long story short, it's my Dyson Airwrap. I literally use this almost every single day. Every time I wash my hair, Dyson, okay? I love it. I was never the kind of person who did my hair every day. I never straightened or curled or whatever. I just let it dry naturally, and I just wasn't happy with my hair for a lot of the time. It just felt like I could never get anything right. And then my husband got me the Dyson Airwrap for Christmas last year, and it's been an absolute game changer. A huge fan. Let me show you all the pieces. This is the older model, so it's not the newer one, but it has the curling things, 2 brushes, regular blow dryer attachment, and the roller attachment. It's really hard to see, sorry. Here is the main wand, and then all the cables just like neatly tucked back into there. I use the brush one the most often just because it does take me a little bit to do the curling because I have to use smaller parts. And then it also has this section right here. You can't even see it, but it's where the cleaning thing goes, but I don't even have it in there right now, but I keep these clips in here and it's perfect. And then I have like the manual and this comb that I use to do my hair. I put this thing on top right here. It's like this leather thing. You can use it for like heat protectant. I put these in here, close it up, good to go. Now we're in the bathroom. It's echoing in here, sorry. So the next thing, and the second to last thing that I'm obsessed with, that I've been loving this year, is the ITK Milk to Foam Gentle Cleanser. This stuff takes off my makeup better than anything ever. I do use makeup erasers to get a majority of my makeup off, but I find that I still have some residue on my face after I use it, and when I use this, my face feels cleaner than ever. And I personally feel if you don't have acne prone skin, like you could just use this and call it a day. However, I do have acne prone skin, so I use other stuff as well, but this just gets my makeup off better than anything I've ever used. And the very last thing that I have for this video is also ITK. They're the microneedle blemish patches. I love them so much that they sent me a whole box of them. But here is the packaging. It just says ITK, microneedle blemish patches. I love these. They have salicylic acid, niacinamide, and aloe vera. I personally like them so much better than every other pimple patch I've ever used because they have salicylic acid in them, and that's why I love them so much, because salicylic acid works really well on my acne. So that's all I have. I'm so out of breath from standing up and holding my camera because pregnant. Love that for me. But yeah, that is all I have for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any stuff that you loved in 2022, I'd love to know what it is so I can try it out. Leave that link down below. Comment down below, and I'll try to link everything I can down below for you guys. But yeah, that's all I have. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.